and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, Singer, and IslandNet Services.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out, don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
On October 18 and 19, the US-based tech company Intellibus will be in Jamaica with its second hackathon at the AC Hotel here in Kingston under the theme Build, Innovate, Win. This two-day tech showdown offers a prize pool of over $15,000 and live mentorship in AI, cloud computing, information that you and I sometimes don't remember, and real-time systems. It's not just about coding, it's a gateway to Intellibus AI Academy and exclusive hiring opportunities for Jamaican tech talents. This evening, we examine how this international firm is shaping a new wave of tech careers in Jamaica and what it means for the future of the local job market. Lead Story begins now. Good evening and welcome to Lead Story. I'm Nika Lewis. US-based platform engineering firm Intellibus is making strategic moves to transform Jamaica into a hub for AI, cloud computing, and platform engineering. It's their second hackathon happening here in Jamaica on October 18 and 19 at the AC Hotel in Kingston. And it's more than a competition. It's a launching pad for careers with over $15,000 in prizes, live mentorship, and direct access to hiring opportunities. This event signals a major investment in Jamaica's tech arena. Helping us understand this shift and more about the hackathons is Jamaica country lead Camille Gale and software engineer Shanoya Gordon. Ladies, welcome.
Hi, Nika. Thank you so much for having us.
Indeed. So Intellibus is a big word, and it means a lot is happening here in Jamaica. It sounds like investment as well. But we are seeing that you've made quite the entrance in the local market. Tell us about Intellibus, the hackathon, and what exactly is expected to happen October 18 and 19.
Happy to do so. So Intellibus, not so much of a big word, it's like intelligent business platforms. It's intelligent business. So let's start there.
Compound.
Yeah, it's a compound. But the hackathon, which is really what we're here to talk about today, is an amazing opportunity for tech talents in Jamaica. So on the 18th and 19th of October, we're opening the doors for persons who want to build any solution that they could think of using the platforms through AI, coding. You don't even really need to have a lot of coding background, but you need to be able to think on what problem you'd like to solve, and we'll help you solve it.
So in essence, you're saying anyone could be watching with this creative instinct, innovative mindset,
Correct.
And say, I want to be part of this hackathon series, and they how do they get access? How do they tap in?
Intellibushackathon.com. That's where we would start. Check out the Intellibushackathon.com website. It has a lot of the details about what to expect, what you will be seeing, the types of tech stacks. So there is a lot of software engineering that will be involved, but there are platforms that are available that can help you through that process. Register on the site, show up on the day. They come in, check-in starts at 7 a.m. on the day, and we will have coaches, mentors, persons in the room that can help them. Teams of 3 to 5 would gather, and it's not only about the components of the coding, but it's also the strategy. What is the innovation? What is the problem that you're trying to solve? And you work through those steps. What's the best design that you can put together? How quickly can you put this together? Because you have 24 hours from 11 a.m. on Saturday to 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. Non-stop coding, non-stop hacking. We'll be right there. You'll have food, you'll have rest areas, you'll have coaches, you'll have support. And we're going to build, we're going to innovate, and persons are going to win.
So what age are we looking at?
All right, so ideally, let's not even look at an age group, because if you are under 18, you just need to have a parent or guardian with you.
Okay.
Yeah, we went across the island and did crack the code competitions in the various parishes, and we found a 12-year-old boy. He wasn't even 12 at the time. An 11-year-old boy who was able to crack the code, and he was a self-taught coder. So let's not hold anybody back from what opportunity has to offer. So let's look at persons who are leaving university, persons who are ready for employment, because really we are looking at employment, but we'd like to see what the talent is, and let's see how best we can help to hone that talent.
Indeed, and I know that you have created 50 high-value tech jobs already, but how do these roles differ currently from what obtains from an IT job, for example?
I wouldn't go as far as to say necessarily differ. What I would say is that the access to international platforms. So where we are now is what's happening in Jamaica is that there may be some restrictions. Not persons, there's an access to information, restrictions to education. What these jobs are allowing persons to do is to tap into international markets and get client-facing projects that they would not have typically found in the Jamaica market. And in this Jamaican market is the same market where at a previous hackathon, the lady to my farthest right is where you found her. That's right.
All right, so we invite you to the conversation, Miss Software Engineer Shanoya Gordon. Shanoya, how did you get involved in this Intellibus activity, the hackathon? Talk us through the journey for you.
The first time that I actually saw the hackathon was during school hours. I was at school. It was buzzing all around. Everyone was talking about the Intellibus AI hackathon, and it was actually my first ever hackathon. And I really wanted to attend a hackathon in person, so I said, why not? And having gone to the hackathon, my team and I, we participated, and we actually came first in the hackathon. And now I'm here.
So when you started out, you were in high school, you mentioned, and this was just...
I was in university.
You were in university, okay, clear. And so you saw this, what was your area of study, and why did you decide, let me try it now?
Okay, so my area of study was, and is still, computer science.
Okay.
I wanted to participate in the hackathon because it is in the same realm as what I am studying. I wanted to get the real world experience of actually building something in real time and then demoing that and actually seeing other people who are like-minded and in my field building these same applications real time.
Okay, so you went to this event, you met with a group of people, and what exactly was the project that you were working on?
The hackathon project that we built was actually an application that assists the visually impaired in navigating their environment. So for example, if a person who is visually impaired is walking indoors, the application would then, it uses object detection to detect different objects around them. If there's a chair to their left, it would say, oh, there's a chair to your left. I would suggest navigating right.
To the,
yes, it speaks.
Okay.
Audio feedback.
Wow. So when these projects, Miss Gail, when these projects are launched at such a hackathon, which I'm sure you're expecting several of these this year, this time around. So when these are done, how do you take them from idea stages to big platform markets?
Oh, that's a fabulous question, because I'd want to add, because we had mentioned before that it was up to $15,000 in prizes.
Yes.
But since the turnout and the overwhelming support of what we're seeing with persons who are registering, we have increased that to $25,000, because we've decided to look at specialized prizes for projects specifically. So not just looking at a top 3 in terms of the innovation, but if you're able to do a project that is ready for the market, there's a separate prize that can be attached to that. If you're able to do a prize that is partially ready for the market, there's another prize that can be attached to that. So you'll hear a lot more about that, because we want to ensure that we can create that pathway, not just for what happens in the room, but what happens to the persons after.
Indeed. And so individuals who are looking on this evening, both of you are selling a product of sort as to this new platform, this new reality that when we were probably in our early years, we didn't know about any hackathons. It's a new word. So what would your message be? First, you, Shanoya, what would your message be to youngsters watching you this evening, aspiring to be software engineers, not just at any random company, but at Intellibus or any international firm? How do they get on board? How do they get involved? How do they start?
Well, firstly, I would say to come out to our hackathon that we're having this weekend, the 18th and the 19th. I would also say to put yourself into any spaces that delves into tech. Even if it's a case where you're just a beginner, if you're started from the bottom, then all you can do is go to the top. So yeah.
You're not drilling, you climb.
You're climbing, exactly.
Okay. And your message, Miss Gail, you certainly have some.
I would say it's an amazing opportunity. And it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to create solutions. And that's really where we're looking at. It's job creation for Jamaica. It's innovation for Jamaica. And it's allowing us to find what are those experiences that are happening in the market that we want to create a solution for. So if you have an idea, if you have a plan, put a team together, and let's find a solution.
I want to ask you as well about the AI Academy. What is it? Where do we find it? Who gets access to it?
All right, so the hackathon is the first place that really starts, because out of the hackathon, we're able to identify persons who are ready to move to progress towards those jobs. The academy it's like a pipeline almost. So in the academy, you're able to find persons who are still learning, they are students. But what I've observed, and we've only over the last 5 months, is that person starts in the academy, but it's not it's not classroom type training that you would expect. It's where they're able to sit on projects with real world experience, work experience. So they have lab members, trained engineers that are sitting on the same project as academy students that are sitting on the same project as consultants. And together they are learning. So the academy gives you an opportunity to learn from your peers and move towards internships and to final positions as software engineers with the lab.
We're seeing some of the footage from one of your previous hackathons,
yes.
I gather. So it's a big boardroom looking setup.
Yes.
I don't know, it's a conference room more likely. And so you're randomly chosen to be members of a team. What happens? You get to the location, you sign up, and then what?
So persons can find teams of 3 to 5 on their own. They don't need to, they can show up at the AC Hotel with a team. If you do not have a team, that's okay. We will have a team formation session where persons will find out a little bit more about what your experience is, because every team would need someone who has a skill set being back-end coding, front-end coding, designers, and strategists. So it's a combination of skills that you're going to need. And if you don't have that, we'll help you to find that in the room. If it is that, once the team formation is completed, they start working on their idea. They get some time to discuss it, and then they start to build it. That's really what happens in the room. And yes, it is a big boardroom type, classroom type setting with lots of coaches. On the screen, you're seeing some of the coaches, you're seeing some of the judges that were there the last time. And now we have quite a few of the persons who participated in the last hackathon are now turning around and they're coaching in this hackathon.
Are we likely to see more like these before the end of this year?
Before the end of this year, maybe not.
Okay.
But definitely next year, you're going to see more.
All right, well, guess what? We're up on a break. So ladies, we'll be right back. Do stay with us. You might become a coder or a hackathon experienced person later on, so stay with us.
At Hawkeye, we work hard to develop state-of-the-art security solutions like our new Total Connect smart home automation system that gives you 24/7 access to control your appliances, lights, cameras, and doors using your smartphone, tablet, or PC. As the most trusted electronic security company in Jamaica, Hawkeye has the fastest response times to get to you when you need us most. Trust Hawkeye's Total Connect. Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, Singer, and Islandnet Services.
This Heroes Weekend, Sunday, October 19. The only place to be is Sabina Park for a rise to the occasion with Sizzla Kalungi. Get your tickets at Gina's Pharmacy, Portmore, Fesco, Ferry, Beechwood Avenue, and Stony Hill. Signature Style, Central Plaza, Halfway Tree. Wicks by Gray, Master Super Center, Kaya Herb House, Kingston, and St. Anne. Or online at risetotheoccasionlive.com. Pre-sale tickets, 6.5 General, VIP 13,500.
We're talking about the future of employment in Jamaica, and it's heavily driven by technology. One U.S. firm is making sure of that through some hackathons. It's a new word, but it's really going to be something of the current day lifestyle because it's a gateway for employment and innovation, and it's opening just that right here in Jamaica. Intellibus personnel are here with me in studio. I have Ms. Camille Gale, and she is the country manager for Intellibus here in Jamaica. Big title. And we also have a software engineer who only recently started working for Intellibus. She joined a hackathon and got that opportunity as well. So we welcome you ladies back, Shanoya Gordon and Camille Gale. All right, Ms. Gale, before we went to the break, we were talking about some of the events that you've hosted here and some of the outcomes of those events. Do you have any expectations for this hackathon that is set for the weekend, the 18th and 19th?
Well, let's start with the first hackathon, because out of the first hackathon, we were able to create 50 job opportunities in Jamaica. And we are looking to match, if not beat that, for this hackathon. So to answer the question, we're looking to create 100 job opportunities for Jamaicans, and we're at the halfway point now. And based on the turnout that we expect to happen on the 18th and 19th, we expect to, if not meet, surpass that expectation.
All right, what can Jamaicans expect? They're hearing about jobs and 50 jobs, 100 jobs. To some people, that might not be a big number. It's not a few hundred thousands or, you know. So what sorts of jobs are Jamaicans expecting when they hear 50 jobs, 100 jobs?
Right, that's a great question. So what it is, it's software engineering. Yeah, it's software engineering right now, and if we're going to look at the numbers, one of the greatest things about the Intellibus jobs is because you're able to hit the market for international markets as opposed to just our local markets right here. You'd have software engineers who came out to the last hackathon that are making up to $10 million per year now. So comparatively to what they would have been making before as a software engineer, yes, it's a significant leap. A lot of them are making 3 times what they were making before, and we intend to duplicate that model. So we came, we tested it, we saw that it worked, and we're doing it again. And we're going to keep doing it again. The intention is for us to get to 1,000 jobs over the next 2 years.
And so Jamaica seems to be quite the space for Intellibus, and I'm sure that other firms will be tapping in.
That's the intention.
If I may bring Shanoya back to the conversation, Ms. Gordon, you have now established yourself somewhat in Intellibus. What's the experience been like for you? It's beyond the hackathon.
It's been an incredible experience, honestly. At first, I would have said that it was difficult because I was in a new space collaborating with a lot of people that I did not collaborate with before. But I can safely say that every day that I come into my workspace, I learn something new. It's very innovative.
So you work from in Jamaica, or you interact abroad and here? How does that work?
I work in Jamaica, but some of our client-based projects are with companies abroad.
Understood. I don't know if she's your boss, but I don't want her to be a little annoyed that I'm going too deep. So how is Intellibus ensuring, therefore, that this AI Academy that you have spoken about earlier leads to real sustainable employment and long-term career mobility for Jamaicans?
So it's the environment that's created. And just to what Shania spoke on, that every day she comes in, it's almost as if she learned something new. The environment that created it's almost intelligence through osmosis. When you step into the room, there's such brilliant minds. They're solving together, they're working together, they're building the solutions together. There's an entire team that is focused on training and developing and coaching them. And there's another team that is focused on looking for the clients that will need these services for them. So the pipeline is being created on both sides to ensure that there is sustainability, that there is scalability, and that there's security for all involved.
All right, so you come to the hackathon, you did so well, but you didn't get the job at Intellibus. What opportunities exist now for them?
All right, so what we will do is that through Intellibus there is a baseline test mechanism, like it's called our GQ. Sometimes we call it the genius quotient or the growth quotient. Okay. So they will see the growth quotient or the genius quotient and they'll get a sense of where you are on the scale. And depending on where you are on the scale, programs will be developed to help you to get to where you need to be. And at a particular level, you will enter the academy. Some persons ask, do I need to have any formal training in education? No, those boundaries, the access, those limitations are done away with. We will accept what you are able to provide. And if you learn about it and you're able to test and meet it, then we'll have spaces that we can coach you and nurture you and mentor you until you're able to perform at a client-based level.
How does, or what exactly does the future entail for Intellibus here in Jamaica? You know, how does it fit into the wider digital transformation of Jamaica and the Caribbean?
Well, I'd say there's a lot in store. Right now we're focusing on the development of the tech talents, but the development on the tech talents is only going to stand the test of time if it is that we are able to implement the infrastructures that are required right across the island, which is why we started by going right across the island to identify that talent. There's a lot that is in plan that I may not be able to speak to in the moment, but our marketing and PR team will say a lot about how quickly we will speed through this and the different programs and opportunities that will be available for Jamaicans over the next few years. We're here to stay.
Okay, Shanoya, what are some of the common misconceptions about what you do by the average Jamaican?
I would say some of the common misconceptions is that it's hard to evolve in a field like this. And I don't think that is true, because there are many resources out there that can help you to evolve in a field like software engineering. I've seen cases where people would be interested in tech, but they are dissuaded from learning more about tech because they've been told that it's a hard field to work in. And even though some aspects of it are, I would say, hard, there are tools out there to help you to learn more and be more innovative, and there are a whole lot of other people out there that you can actually learn from. I'm living testament of that, because I have learned so much in the small space of time that I have been at Intellibus. Yes.
Would you say that Intellibus has afforded you an opportunity that perhaps would have been harder to come by if you didn't go through that procedure and take that path?
Definitely, definitely. I would say that the tech space now is a tad bit competitive. Intellibus is a company that ultimately people who are in university like me and are studying computer science, ultimately the end game is to work with a company like Intellibus. So I would say that the hackathon gave me a fast track to that, because otherwise I would have had to finish my degree. I would have had to apply to many jobs to even get here in the first place.
Indeed. And so when I was doing my little research prior to coming to this interview, I thought to myself, growing up in Jamaica, in certain rural spaces, of course, you are hearing things like, if you get too serious about tech, you're going into the devil's work and that kind of thing. Do you also get that sort of pushback in some spheres where you're sharing what you do with people and you're encouraging them and their children to become involved in tech and they're pushing back in that way? Certainly you, Ms. Gail.
I've heard it. I don't get the pushback as much when it speaks to tech overall. I do get the pushback when people speak to AI, because a lot of persons are threatened by artificial intelligence. And there is a concept that artificial intelligence will take a lot of jobs. What we are doing is that we're using artificial intelligence to create more jobs, because we're flattening the boundaries to opportunities, we're flattening the boundaries to information.
Yes.
And through that, some jobs will go. We're very sure about that.
Would they be the lower end jobs, or?
It's hard to say lower end. I would say it gets a little bit tricky in terms of which jobs specifically would go. But some jobs will go that can be replaced. So things that can be automated easily can be replaced. But there is a component about us that just us by our innate natural being that cannot be changed. Our creativity, our ability to think things through, to connect some dots. Some of these, my founder would say it's like an artist. Yeah, you still need to have the vision to create what it is that you want to create. The stacking the piles, stacking the bricks, we probably can get AI to stack the bricks. But what you want to build, it starts within you. And AI can't take you away from you.
That's a big one. Your final thoughts, Ms. Gordon?
My final thoughts would be encouraging all the tech enthusiasts, even if it's a case where you're not adept in tech. I would encourage you to come out to the hackathon to see what it's like. Even if you don't win, you would go away with innovating experience. You would have learned something. I'm just encouraging young people to come out.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. And that takes us to the end of Lead